Hello and welcome back to the History Channel. My name is Idan and I'll be your digital history teacher. I'll teach you about international history from the late 1800s to the mid 1900s in a 16-part series. This is part 11. This video will be about 3.3, why and with what effects did Britain and France pursue a policy of appeasement. So let's start with section A, impact of economic and military considerations or foreign policy. Public opinion was against war. Britain and France couldn't afford the preparation of war. Due to Britain and France being weak in protecting their national interests, they imposed economic sanctions to Italy and Japan. But Italy had help from Hitler. France used something called a Maginot Line, which was forts along the border, to deter German aggression. Britain's military policy was based on a 10-year rule in which Britain won't be involved in a war for more than 10 years. But was abandoned and they suffered economic effects from that. Moving on to section B, changing nature of relations and impact on foreign policy. Communism was in opposition to many, and Britain wanted to keep Germany weak, but strong enough to stop the USSR's communism. Britain and France restored relationships with the USSR, but were still suspicious of its link with Germany and intent on conquering Eastern Europe. USSR joined the League of Nations. Japan's expansionism and navy posed a threat to the USA. The USSR was critical of the League of Nations when they couldn't stop Italy invading Abyssinia, increasing weaknesses and threats of communism. He still stayed in the League of Nations to become strong, but suddenly formed an alliance with Hitler. Moving on to section C, actions taken to appease Hitler. By 1938, Hitler destroyed the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler noticed Britain and France were weak, so at the World Disarmament Conference, he convinced Britain that France led to the failure of the conference, and this caused the Anglo-German Naval Agreement, increasing Germany's naval power. Britain wanted Germany to have a strong economy and military, further increasing France's distrust. This caused Hitler to take over many countries, convincing others that it was justifiable because of Britain. Britain used appeasement to increase its relationship with Germany. This caused anger with France, increasing weakness and giving Hitler a chance to get stronger. Hitler signed the Locarno treaties to keep the Rhineland demilitarized, but later he entered it with troops and claimed that France threatened his country of Germany. Britain thought that Hitler's plans were justifiable as an attempt to increase each other's relations and protect itself. Hitler also correctly predicted that Britain won't do anything against war, and he reached Anschluss when easily taking over Austria. Moving on to section D, the last one, Czechoslovakia and the Munich crisis. Hitler justified trying to take over Czechoslovakia by saying many German-speaking people were living there. Hitler asked for 70%, but France and Britain were obligated to protect Czechoslovakia. The Munich Conference happened to prevent war. The terms let Hitler take Sudetenland and give parts of Czechoslovakia to Poland. Historians called this the clearest example of appeasement, led by the new British Prime Minister Chamberlain. Chamberlain was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize and was applauded by France for supposedly preventing war. But some politicians didn't agree to trust Hitler. Well, that's the end of 3.3. Tune in to the next video for the next part, which will go into 3.4 at the end of the chapter.